This year, 2024, is an important year in South Africa. It is equally important to 1994 because in 1994, it was the year of freedom in our country after a long struggle against apartheid. 30 years down the line, the people of South Africa have only seen a major change on the political freedom where we all have equal right to vote, whether you are rich or poor, educated or uneducated, employed or unemployed, black, white, colored or Indian. That is the main benefit we all enjoy since 1994. But after 30 years, our country is moving back almost in every angle. Unemployment is high. Crime is devastating our society. Load shedding destroyed small, medium, and big businesses, as most of them had to shut down their doors. The economy is almost crumbling. The environment in our country needs a new government. The IFP has been in the political space for 49 years now, since 1975. We were part of the struggle for liberation. It is the IFP that became the sole voice when all other political organizations and political leaders were in prison or in exile. It is only the IFP that stood up and said, release Mandela and ban the political parties in exile. In 1994, the IFP became an important player at CODESA because today, the Bill of Rights we have in our Constitution, it was the contribution of the IFP. The division of our country into 9 provinces and local government sphere to bring the government closer to the people was the contribution of the IFP, which is the setup in our government today. As we are going to elections on 29 May, these elections are equally the same as 1994. In 1994, we wanted to remove a government that was not doing anything good, especially for black people. In 2024, the clarion call and the feeling of people in South Africa, they want a change. They want a government that will come with a turnaround plan in terms of providing employment, especially to our young people, including graduates who are sitting at home. The IFP on the 10th of March at Moses Mabhida launched a 13-point plan manifesto. Top in our agenda is job creation. We will ensure that we create an environment that will make the foreign investors to invest in South Africa and thereby creating job opportunities so that our unemployed people whose rate is sitting at 41% will once again get their dreams and aspirations revived when they wake up in the morning and go to work. The IFP, one thing that we will do, we will cut down the bloated cabinet. The cabinet in South Africa is too big and very unnecessary. Our cabinet is almost equal to big countries with big budget and who are doing well in as far as the economy is concerned. Most departments do not need deputy ministers. Yes, few departments which are big in terms of their mandate, they do need deputy ministries, but the rest of the departments do not. The IFP will save millions, if not billions of rands by cutting down the bloated cabinet to ensure that more resources are redirected to creating job opportunities. In the field of civil servants, we have many educators, nurses, doctors, many people who are sitting at home. Posts are vacant in the government civil service because there is no money to employ these young people who are already qualified in our communities. Secondly, crime will be our top priority. In order to have investors having an interest in the country, it must be a crime-free society. South Africa is a crime zone. For business people, for ordinary citizens, our women and children can walk freely down the street. We will be tough on crime and criminals. We will employ more men and women in the blue to ensure that we create more, or we build more police stations in the hotspot areas of crime where resources do not allow for fully fledged police station. Mobile police stations will be provided in our communities. And thirdly, we will deal with load shedding once and for all. Load shedding has destroyed our economy. We will ensure that when we commission a power station, we will build and finish on time, and we will ensure that more power stations are built and maintenance is done so that our communities are not compelled to stay in the dark during the night, which exposes them to crime, and people who are in business are not compelled to shut down their businesses because of a poor government that is failing to maintain the infrastructure. We will ensure that roads, railway will be our top priority in order to ensure that the economy of a country does well. Your road infrastructure, your railway infrastructure must be good so that the transportation of goods is done timeously. The IFP will focus on health and education. We will ensure that we provide quality health services by employing competent personnel, both at health and education, and also ensure that the infrastructure is up to standard. We do not want to see this carrying on where black children had to move from our rural areas or township to urban areas seeking for better education. After 30 years, all our children qualify for a quality education with competent educators, good infrastructure, sporting facilities that will enable them to demonstrate their abilities. As we could see, the young people who are playing and doing well in their career, it is because the schools in which they went to had a good infrastructure that allowed them to excel and demonstrate in their abilities.